and just to compress the guitar sound itself. You know, when I want it, you can blow it up or bring it back. You know, and for Jimi it was easier because they could turn that compressor up or down after he recorded it, and then see how it sounded best that way. You know, I have to try to figure out how it's going to react while I'm doing it. You know, so that's a little bit different. But anyway, one reason I put it first, just to get the signal, you know, flat, and then it goes into a wah-wah pedal. Now, when I kick on the wah-wah pedal, it'll get like that. With the compressor on, it'll go. It's a little bit wider sweep, and so that's why I use that. Sometimes I want it to be a little bit wider, and especially if I pump it up with one of the distortion boxes. I have two different distortions. They're both like a fuzz face, but Jimi at times used one before the wah-wah pedal, early in his career, so that the compressor helps do that. When I really want to pump it up, I can just kick it up with my foot, and it'll be really loud, you know. So it's just like, so you can hear it come up in volume. But I try to, like, for something sweet, you know, keep it down to like. A little flatter and nice sweet sound like Jimi used to get, so I like that and everything. And the wah-wah pedal even reacts a little different like that too. So it's like that, you know. The next thing I've got it, you know, I kind of lately, because of the internet, they're showing pictures of the way Jimi hooked up his stuff. So you can see that he's using his Octavia. I'm using a compressor, wah-wah pedal, Octavia, fuzz face, univibe, and a different type of distortion that I use sometimes just because it's more of an in-between thing. It's a tone hunter. It's made by this guy in Cologne. He's like a one-off guy, you know. It's probably kind of hard to find, but I really like the way he put this pedal together because of the distortion that it creates is kind of hardly only noticeable, but it just gives me a little bit more of this, you know, sustain. Here the tone is almost the same, right? Only it's a little bit louder, so it just tends to. So it makes the chords big and nice and everything. And then this other one was just given to me by a guy in LA, I guess. He was bragging to me that all the big guitar players have got this pedal. It's called a third stone pedal. But he told me that it is going for $1,500. I went, oh, come on. I said, well, I don't have, I'm not gonna, so he gave it to me. And then I forgot it and left it on a bench in there in LA. I had to get it sent back to me by the guy. Had to go find it again. But anyway, I liked it. I kind of A-B'd it at the first gig of this tour and everything, and I kind of liked it. And it seemed to be a little cleaner. You can sculpt it a little bit better because it's got a lot of switches and knobs on it, so you can kind of find tones that you like on it. Now, I haven't really done much of a sound check here, so I'm not exactly sure how it'll sound, but if I hit a chord and then hit it, you'll hear how it kind of blows up. That's pretty Hendrixy, really. You know. And then if I was to like turn my compressor on and pump it up a little bit, And then hit that pedal and do the same thing. And then kick on the other distortion. And then the guitar starts playing itself, and it's just, like just any kind of movement you make on it when it's that distorted is just like, so it's just, even just touching it, like that, it's going to go, and so it's a lot of fun to do stuff like that. I used to sit back and I think Jimi, when he was doing it, he liked science fiction movies, and I think he liked the sounds that those spaceships were making and everything, or that they would make. And a lot of them were made, on steel guitars and, other guitar stringed instruments through like an Echoplex or something like early Echoplex. And then the theremin, I don't know if you know, the theremin is like the first electronic instrument, and they use that for doing all that weird shit. But anyway, so, I've kind of like experimented a little bit, like learning how to make a lot of Jimi's sounds, like, what is he doing? You see him playing it. One of them would be like he does this one where he runs his hand up the neck and he just lets go of the string, and he's got the distortion way up, so it gets, sometimes it doesn't always work, so hit it until it does. But it's like But I like stuff like that, it's just like, because the guitar is able to do it, why not do it, So that's the way I am about it anyway, but I really like Jimi's when he does sweet stuff like that. I think that he listened to Eric Clapton a lot, because there's a lot of licks that he does that are like Eric's, but then he just threw a little bit, touch more magic on them and stuff like that. And it's like this. Eric will go like, and Eric does stuff like that. Jimi would be going. So it's real kind of close in a way, but I think that's why Eric went, oh, wait a minute. When he first saw Jimi, I think that he kind of flipped out a little bit, going, oh, wow, I could learn something from this guy, and probably not a lot of people out around when Eric was doing it that he was learning anything more from, until Jimi hit the scene, and he was like, okay, and then, and the other people, Jeff Beck was doing some really cool stuff back then, but not as cool as what he ended up with. I love how Jeff Beck ended up growing, and I think a lot of it had to do with just the whole scene and everybody, and Townsend and everybody that was around right then, and then all the people that he admired previously too, so those guys had really deep roots, and I try to keep listening myself, to new stuff, early on, I had a sound man, his name was Floyd Rose. I don't know, how many guitar players are in here? How many people know who Floyd Rose is? All right. Yeah, he invented that thing right here that keeps the guitar in tune and everything. It locked the strings down here and up here. Well, he was my sound man, and he gave me the first one of those things because he thought that because I was doing Hendrix, that it would be really good to have. And it turned out to be really good to have. You know, I was doing whole shows, 3 hours long, one song after the other, whole night, one guitar, and it never went out of tune, the whole set. I'd use it for maybe 3 shows in a row before I had to actually change the strings on it and everything. But anyway, Eddie Van Halen read an article about me in Guitar Player magazine where I showed pictures of it. And then he came to see me, and I introduced him to Floyd because he was right there, our sound man, you know. And he ended up throwing them on every one of his guitars. And then after that, a lot of other guitar players noticed. And let me see what. And then the manufacturers noticed this thing. So Floyd had a patent on it, and all the manufacturers copied it illegally and sold massive guitars with it on. And then Floyd found them at the NAMM show, which is kind of like what this feels like right now. And he served them all legal papers. And he won millions of dollars off of that, you know. And then they all gave him all millions more to license it. So they all say licensed by Floyd Rose on it now. And then Eddie and him worked on the fine tuners for it. So that was, you know, it was like, it felt cool to be part of that little kind of guitar revolution thing that happened, you know. So I played a small part in it, but I felt fortunate to have him as my sound man. And then he started making demands and stuff, and I'll see you later. But anyway, I thought I'd just like go through everything that I do play through. Now, the one thing that I haven't explained was the Univibe. Now, I have got a bunch of original Univibes that I bring out. They're kind of clumsy and everything, and I was looking for something that sounded identical to it. So I had to find a guy that was a boutique guy that played close attention to that kind of thing. So I found this guy, Kevin Randall, and he was like a really freaky guy. He had 2 ambitions: to make Hendrix's pedals in a huge, like, gigantic scale model of the Titanic in his living room. And that's all he had there. Just this Titanic and a chair and a couch and a table and his pedals and this Titanic. And it's never seemed to get done, you know. And he's a weird guy, talked like this. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to sell him a pedal because I don't like him. He's not a nice guy. So he only sells pedals if he liked you, and he liked you how you played or something. So his pedals got kind of sought after in the United States now, and they're paying high dollars for him and he's a really freaky guy. It's really kind of funny. But anyway, this is his Univibe, and I'll show you what it's And so, you know, all together they sound like I'll do a little bit of something with them. Okay. You see, I'll do a couple other things too, like. Or like no pedals. Hey Joe, where you going with that gun in your hand? Hey Joe, I said, where you going with that gun in your hand? I'm gonna let shoot my lady. You know I'm caught messing around with another man. I'm gonna let shoot my lady. I got her messing around with another man. Hey Joe, you shot your lady down, shot her down now. Hey Joe, you shot your lady down, shot her down to the ground.